What's up, everybody? Welcome into the Fantasy Football Game Show presented by Front Yard Fantasy.
It's in the game.
I waited for it today. I wanted it today, JL, and you did not disappoint. Nice voice for that one. Was that
Thank
a voice effect on your Rodecaster?
No, that was all natural.
Wow, just incredible what you can do with those vocal cords. You've been hiding it from us, JL.
What can I say?
I'm your host, Simon, here with my very talented voice acting co-host, John Luke Garofalo. And guys, joining us today, we have great friend of the show and a very reasonable guest, Kevin Tompkins, on with us. For those of you that do not know Kevin, he is a writer for Matthew Berry's Fantasy Life and Fantasy Alarm and a host over at Lightning Round and the Fantasy Football Besties. Kevin, thank you so much for joining us today, my man.
Kevin.
Always a pleasure. I wish I had that kind of soothing baritone that JL has, but I will go through life just knowing that I will be second best. Always.
Always second, right behind me, baby.
You can practice. Nice. Oh man, it even got sultry right there a little bit, JL.
Oof, I'm gonna have to take this down a little bit.
Oh yeah, by the end of the show, this shirt, I'm not even gonna take it off. It's just gonna disappear. I'll be sure.
I'm gonna be canceled.
Yeah, JL's gonna get us canceled for being a little too excited about your voice.
My apologies, guys. My apologies.
We got some people in the chat ready for today's game of poll perception.
Poll perfection.
Poll perfection is what Kevin's gonna do. Scott said Simon is 15 years old in the thumbnail and is stewing about not getting invited to a school dance. Yeah, 100%, Scott. That is when I took that picture.
You nailed it. Yeah,
I'm a freshman in high school wondering why my girlfriend's going to the dance with someone else that's not named me. That's exactly what's happening here, Scott.
Yeah, she's cheer captain and you're on the bleachers.
I'm on the bleachers. Some T Swift references early. This is going to be a good Tuesday show. Britt Flynn here said the eyebrow ring is a real throwback. Throwback to when? Earlier in my life, 2 years ago.
The early times.
To the early times.
The B-sides.
Yeah. What's up, Britt?
What's up, Britt? Welcome, man. Scott said, damn, the FanDuel show with JJ was awesome. JJ's
Facts.
The man over there. JJ is absolutely the man. And Albert said, good afternoon, everyone. What's up, Albert? Glad to have you in here. Scott said, I want Kevin to like me, so I'm going to throw out random names. Gabe Davis, Rashad White. What effect does that have on you, Kevin?
I will get canceled if I do tell you my true feelings, but I really appreciate Scott trying to get on my good side today.
Were you on the you were on the Gabe Davis hype train, right? You were a big Gabe Davis guy.
Oh, was I ever? It was a fun night. I just kicked my feet back and just let Twitter just do its thing. It was a beautiful night.
As someone who had been telling everyone not to draft Gabe Davis the entire offseason, every opportunity I got, I said those words out loud. I was a little disappointed in that performance. I'm happy for him, but it hurt. I was like, oh God, I'm going to hear about this one tomorrow.
Hey, there's a lot of season left. There's a lot of season left. You know, there's 16 more games to see what's going to happen, but at least the first one, very, very encouraging.
No, we're supposed to take week one and extrapolate through the entire season, Kevin. That's the rule.
Oh, damn it. Oh, you're right.
He's like, damn it, I was right on that one. Mr. Scampers, what's up? Hi, cool kids. What's up, Mr. Scampers? Hello. It's cousin. My ad was for the new Quantum Leap LFG. What is Quantum Leap? Can someone?
No idea, but it sounds awesome.
It's a show from like way back in the day that they're remaking now because Hollywood has like no original ideas anymore.
Damn, bro, you took just a shot across the bow to Hollywood.
Catching strays today. And I'm not talking about Mr. Scampers.
Who is next?
That's a cat joke.
Who's catching the next stray right there? Mr. Scamper said, I've never noticed the brow ring. Thank you, but I hide it. I hide it under my hat most of the time. So it's my eyebrow ring and my receding hairline that you don't get to see on most days that's hiding right underneath this hat. And Scott said, always second, like the zero RB strategy. It's a weird week to talk trash about zero RB, I feel like. There were some zero RB targets that turned out pretty nicely. Kevin, were there any guys that you were high on that you feel a little bit maybe vindicated for drafting late?
The Dusty Rex Burkhead, the formerly Dusty Rex Burkhead, who
formerly Dusty.
Yes, formerly he will be Dusty when Dameon Pierce takes over that Texans running back as the RB1. But yeah, like Darrell Henderson, definitely good to see. Khalil Herbert, Jamal Williams, Kenny Gainwell all got in the end zone. It was a good week for the zero RB crew.
When do you think that Dameon Pierce is going to start taking over?
Geez. I mean, who knows? I mean, we have to expect rational coaching here. And Lovie Smith loves him some veterans, so maybe week 18.
Week 18? That's not acceptable. Not where we drafted him, Kevin. Not where we drafted him.
We drafted him? Don't throw me under the bus.
Him.
Well, they're going to have to rest Rex Burkhead in week 18 for their playoff run, very clearly. So they're going to want to get Dameon Pierce to work right there. Tying the Colts, we just know what this Texans team is destined for. I see Scott here saying, "Are you kidding me?" And Joey immediately with the "what the hell?" I came into Hollywood, doesn't have any original ideas anymore. I'm assuming you're both upset about the same thing in that one.
Yes, we are definitely all upset about AEW and the suspensions of plenty of wrestlers. Me and Joey are like this in the wrestling scene.
Just keeping up to date on it. I see some questions in here. We are going to answer your questions throughout the show today while we are playing our game of poll perception. Before we get into that, though, a couple reminders. Number one, if you're not following our guest Kevin on Twitter, go and fix that right now. He's on Twitter at KTompkinsII or K Tomsky. I don't know how you prefer to pronounce it, Kevin.
No, it's K Tompkins II because I am the second Kevin Tompkins.
That checks out. K Tompkins II on Twitter. So go over there and follow him. After you do that, come on back to this show. We are live here every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, 2 p.m. Central time. Time zones almost threw me up. So make sure you've hit that like button on this video and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss whenever we are live over here. Max had a question for us in the chat. Want to know number one pickup this week. Is it Jeff Wilson? Kevin, what do you think? Is Jeff Wilson your number one guy on the waiver wire this week?
Yeah, I think he's number one with a bullet. I mean, we know how fluid the Niners backfield is, but Jeff Wilson is that dude. I mean, if you want to be technical, I guess he's the RB2 to Trey Lance, but on actual designed running plays, it's going to be Jeff Wilson. So I fully endorse the number one waiver claim for Jeff Wilson.
Just temper your expectations is all I'm going to say. Trey Lance is under center. He's likely going to steal some of that goal line work. Deebo Samuel, I'm expecting to be involved in the rushing game as well. That doesn't mean he's not worth the pickup. Just don't expect him to plug in and produce what Elijah Mitchell was producing because he's not going to get the same looks that Elijah Mitchell got. He'll be good. He'll be serviceable. And if you need someone to start, you got him for like 8 weeks at least. JL, are you in on Jeff Wilson?
I'm not. And I'm not going to spend a ton of my fab budget or my waiver priority on Jeff Wilson, unless I'm absolutely desperate and need a running back. If, for instance, I went with the 0 RB strategy.
Yeah, it checks out. If you went 0 RB, Jeff Wilson might be an even higher priority pickup for you right there. I see Kaysen in here giving us a look at his team. Let's tell him what we think about it. Russell Wilson at quarterback was a rough week, but he had a decent outing out there from a fantasy perspective. It was fine. JT and ETN, and then Keenan Allen, Deontay Johnson, and Juju at wide receiver, Kelsey at tight end. Kevin, immediate reactions to this team. What do you think the weaknesses are? Where do you think they're going to struggle? Or what's great about this?
I'm just a little worried about your RB2 with ETN. James Robinson seems like he's just going to be a thing the entire year. He's kind of a barnacle. We all want ETN to be a thing so bad, but I just don't.
Such a good way to describe him.
He's not going away. It stinks for the ETN drafters like myself who are banking on him just taking over that role and going above and beyond. But Robinson's going to be a thing. I would try to definitely get a more secure RB2. ETN's going to have, good weeks probably through the passing game a bit, but I mean, the strength of the Jags, offense, it's going to be James Robinson. As sad as I don't want to admit that.
Yeah, I may be a little bit more hopeful for ETN. He was one of only 6 players with 3 or more red zone targets this week. So it wasn't just the looks he was getting, but he was getting high value looks as well. And he looked good when he got the opportunity. We're 1 or 2 plays away, very close plays from connecting on ETN being a guy that we're happy about from week 1. Like, they're splitting, but he's going to be productive. JL, I think you feel similarly to I do on that one.
Yeah, what this game confirmed 2 things for me, or at least made me more confident in two things. One is that ETN's upside is capped. With James Robinson, the way they're using him, his upside is undoubtedly capped. You can't really deny that. Second thing is that I'm way more confident that his floor is secure after watching that game. I think he's going to have tons of opportunities this year. I think from a fantasy perspective, he is going to still deliver despite not having, top 4, top 5 running back upside because James Robinson is there.
Yeah, I'm with you. Before we get started with our game, I see Carlos in here asking a question. So just tuning in, are there office hours after this? Carlos, our schedule is a little bit different this year. On Tuesdays now, we are going to have a waiver wire Q&A over on the FanDuel channels with JJ Zacharyson right before this show at 2:30. So you can get your waiver wire questions answered right there. And then on Thursdays at 6 p.m., immediately following the Front Yard Fantasy Hour, we will have our office hours here on this channel at around 6:05 p.m. So as soon as we finish Front Yard Fantasy Hour, we're going to jump over here to do some office hours and answer your questions on
Say Front Yard Fanny.
The Front Yard Fanny Hour. Sorry to our British audience.
Front Yard Fanny Hour.
If people are watching in the UK, that took on a whole different meaning than what it means over here. Because we're going to get into our game of poll perception now. Poll perception is the game that tests your knowledge of the public's perception about the NFL and fantasy football. I've got 7 polls that I found online before this. Your job is going to be to guess the results of those polls. I will pose a poll to one of the contestants. JL, I may ask you, what percentage of people chose side A in this poll? It's always going to be side A that you're answering for. You'll give me a number.
23%.
23%. The closer you are, the more points you're going to get. 10 if you're exactly right. 1 if you're 15 away. 0 outside of that. It scales up in between. And Kevin, your job will be to guess whether the actual percentage is over or under the line that JL set whenever he guessed. Get that right, you're going to add 2 points to your score. We will alternate who's setting the line, who's guessing over under for 6 polls until we get into our 7th and final poll where everybody is guessing a number. The person that's the closest on that one will get 5 points unless they're exactly right, and they will get 10. And the contestant with the most points at the end of that 7th round is our poll perception champion for today. You guys ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready. I got to avenge my last appearance on poll perception. It was not great, Bob.
Not great, Bob.
It's all about the redemption arc. JL, before we get started, Dustin wants to know, do you feel left out with no jerseys on the wall?
Yes, I do, but not for long. You guys can't see it, but there's a jersey right there.
Oh, believable story, JL. That sounds like someone who doesn't have a jersey says.
Trust me. Guys, trust me.
Okay, we'll have to trust JL, Kevin.
Thank you.
Wink, wink. Fantasy Dog, I see you in the chat. What's up, Fantasy Dog? Welcome in. Thanks for hanging out with us this morning as well over on the Front Yard Fantasy Morning Show on Better Sports Network. Kevin, since you are our guest, I'm going to let you decide whether you want to go first or second in this poll.
I'll go second.
Kevin's going second, which means JL, you are up
Coward.
first. Are you ready for your first poll?
I am ready.
And this one, we're starting out strong. This is a dynasty poll, okay? Side A is DK Metcalf plus Jacoby Myers plus a 2024 first and 2 2023 seconds. Side B is CeeDee Lamb. What percentage of people took the package side A in this poll?
What?
A lot of pieces in this one, JL.
Okay, DK Metcalf, Jacoby Myers, 2024 first. That's not even next year. That's next year.
Yeah.
2 2023 seconds. That's next year. Or CeeDee Lamb?
Or CeeDee Lamb.
Oh my God, is this a trick?
No one said they'd be reading.
Yeah, or thinking. This is I'm gonna go 69%.
69%,
seems like way too much for CeeDee Lamb. Yeah.
I'm just reading the polls as they showed up online. I'm not the one making this trade. So, Joe, are you locking in 69%?
Lock it in.
Also, I see someone in the chat asking this before Dak. No, this poll was conducted after the Dak Prescott injury. If there's any relevant information that has changed since the poll was posted, I'll let you guys know. I'm not going to throw you into a poll where information has changed and the poll was asked at a different time.
You better not.
Kevin, are you taking the over or under on JL's guess of 69%?
You know, the natural inclination here is to go under. I'm going to go over.
The old switcheroo.
Kevin taking the over here on CeeDee Lamb. We had a lot of guesses in the chat. And Kevin, most people in there are agreeing with you. Sebro with 90%, Scott with 85%, Scamper said should be 100, Dame with 88, Carlos was 72, Fantasy Dog was 68, Jay taking 76%, Dustin with 69%,
My man.
right in line with you, JL. Albert at 63, Tim with 77, and Scamper's changing his guess to 94% correct, 6% Cowboys fans in this one. Rushman going with 56%, and then
good guess,
changing his mind and said, "Oh, geez, he must have not seen the rest of that package." He said 85% and taking the over. And Fantasy Dog said, "Oh, after." So after the Dak news, he said 73%.
All right, final answer, 73%.
From Fantasy Dog. Yeah, we're locking in 73%. Yeah. This is your last chance to change your answer, Fantasy Dog, if you want to. The actual percentage of people that chose the package in this trade was 82%. It was 82%. JL, I did the math for you. That's 13 percentage points away. So you are going to get 1 point. You're within the range. That's good news. But Kevin, you're going to get 2 points for correctly picking the over-under on this one. Kevin, I'm guessing based on your answer, you're taking the package here. You're not taking CeeDee Lamb.
Oh, 100%. I just know that people love to overreact, just based on one injury for like a 6 to 8 week injury on somebody, which is funny because a lot of people base their dynasty somewhat long-term team on quick twitch injuries, like something like this. So yeah, the Metcalf Myers first and 20-23 seconds, like all day, that package is a lot for Lamb.
That is a lot.
That's so much for Lamb. That is just an absurd amount for Lamb. Now, JL, DK Metcalf is probably the premier piece outside of the first round pick on the other side of this trade. And this time last year or a couple years ago, we were talking about DK Metcalf as the number one overall dynasty wide receiver, right? He came in and he was a lot of people's number one. Do you think we see DK Metcalf maybe sneak back into that like top 12 range, top 10 kind of dynasty wide receiver? Like, is this a piece that could appreciate in value instead of depreciating?
I think that we're going to see these short-term up and down patterns for DK Metcalf. I think he's that type of player. He's so explosive. When he has a sustained streak of really good games, I absolutely think his value could skyrocket back into that top 10. I don't think he's that far out of it now, right? He's got to be like what? Probably 12 overall, something like that.
Something like that.
Dynasty. He's still highly drafted, highly regarded. Yeah, I think he could absolutely vault back into that in a better situation.
Yeah, DK Metcalf right now. You know what, JL, you're right. He's sitting at like wide receiver 10 according to Fantasy Pros Consensus 2022 Dynasty wide receiver rankings. Kevin, do you think he can elevate that status, or is that about his ceiling?
I mean, just based on how stacked the wide receiver position is, I mean, I think if he's going to even sniff the, that chase, that kind of that anywhere close to that tier, he's going to need consistent quarterback to be able to do that, or a new team. But absolutely. I mean, we all know his talent. I mean, we all know he's just he is a grown ass man of the highest regard.
A grown ass man.
The most grown ass man.
Yeah. You can't get any more grown ass man than that man.
No, you can't. Shout out to Rushman and Scott Rainier for both being only 3 percentage points away on that one. The best guesses in the chat. Nice job.
Thanks for texting me the answer, Scott.
Yes, Scott. JL, you have 1 point after that question. Kevin has 2. But Kevin, it is your turn. Are you ready for your first poll?
I am ready. Let's go.
Here's the question. It's a little different from the last one. Are you concerned about Russell Wilson going forward as a starting fantasy QB? Side A is yes. Side B is a little. And side C is not at all. What percentage of people said yes in this poll?
Are you concerned about Russell Wilson going forward as a starting fantasy quarterback? What percentage said yes?
What percentage said yes?
Let's see. That's tough. This could be split, I feel like. We need some Jeopardy. That's what we need. I know StreamYard you can upload the music, do some Jeopardy music.
Oh, I can do you one better. We can feed the ducks while you're thinking if you want to, Kevin.
I mean, what percentage? I'm going to go with, I'm waffling a little bit, not going to lie. 31%.
31% is your answer for that one. 31% on the yes side. JL, do you think the actual percentage is over or under Kevin's guess of 31%?
I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no idea. 31% seems pretty good. If I'm just splitting these guys up 3 ways, I'm starting at 33%. I'm trying to think, are people going to overreact or are they going to underreact? And I don't know.
Or properly react. Those are the 3
properly
options.
react. And those are the options. I have no idea.
These are kind of the options laid out for you, right? Side A is yes, overreact. Side B is probably properly react. And then side C is underreact. Don't have any reaction to what's going on here.
Yeah. So I'll just take the over then.
I love that analysis. I have no idea. Over. That's where we're going. We had some guesses in the chat. Scott in here with 36%. Rushman with 23%. Carlos with 42%. Dame Overlord. All hail the Overlord. Coming in with 34%. Sebro with 45%. Scampers with 11%. Tim coming in with 16%. Dustin said 155%. But if you look at your keyboard, the 5 is where the percent lives. He forgot to press shift. It was 15% from Dustin.
155.
Albert with 27%. Fantasy Dog going with 75%. And then also coming in saying, this is fun. He gets it now. He's ready to play. Well, we're glad you're joining us for Poll Perception today, Fantasy Dog. And then he said, oh my, 75. Just letting us know that he's going with 75% on the yes side right there. Well, guys, the percentage of people that chose side A in this poll was 17%. It was lower, JL, so you're going to get no points. But Kevin, with a guess of 31%, you are 14 percentage points away, which is going to be in that range. So you're still going to get 1 point for that one.
Sneaky little boy.
And shout out Tim with the guess of 16. He was the closest right there. Before we move on to our next poll, Kevin, where do you land on this scale? Are you concerned about Russell Wilson as a starting fantasy QB?
Not really. I think Seattle was an emotionally charged game, I feel like. So I'm going to kind of throw that out a little bit. I think Russell Wilson, just with his weapons there, and if Nathaniel Hackett can separate himself from his kicker admiration, I think Russell Wilson will be fine.
Yeah. I see come here now seeing Poll Perception. How many people do not listen to JL this year and draft Saquon Barkley? What? Completely not JL's opinion. He loves Saquon Barkley, but I love the first comment from come here now is like coming in and just roasting you a little bit, JL.
How many people do not listen to JL this year and draft Saquon Barkley? That's baloney. I was saying draft Saquon Barkley. Get out of here.
Not according to come here now, Beach 89, JL. And that's about as reputable as a source as we get in the Front Yard Fantasy chat.
The New York Times.
It is the New York Times. Also, Fantasy Dog in here saying, oh my, I suck at this. It's a hard game, man. It's a simple game, but it is a hard game. Trying to gauge what everybody thinks is really difficult because we're so used to talking about our own opinions, not necessarily everybody else's opinions right there.
Right.
Kevin, you've got the lead after that. Not a commanding lead, but a lead. 3-1 in this game. See if you can keep it up and take home the W, some redemption for last time. JL, we're going to move on to the next poll, though. Are you ready for yours?
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Is this way over, way under time?
And we're going to do that in the third round. With 2 people, we'll do that for the third round. Give you each a chance on 1 poll to do it. Here is your question. What is the earliest you believe a healthy Trey Lance could get benched? Side A, week 3 or sooner. Side B, week 4 through 6. Side C, week 7 through 18. Or side D, not this year. What percentage of people said week 3 or sooner?
Yeah. Oh, okay. All right.
Jail, before you do that, we got to get in here. Come here now said, Autocrocked. Well, Autocrocked did not catch this one, but then he said, meant to say how many people did not listen to JL and did not draft Saquon Barkley. He was giving you props, not throwing shade.
I kind of like it the other way.
Oh, you liked it better when he was coming in and throwing shade at you?
Yeah. All right. What is that? What is the earliest you believe a healthy Trey Lance could be benched? This is just going to come down to how many people are buying into that whole narrative that they're unhappy with him. If it's 25% across the board here, I think it'll be probably lighter on side D.
Or react normally.
Or react a little bit more than normally.
I forgot about that option in this one.
I'll go with 29. No. I will go with 14%.
How many?
14%.
14% from JL. Kevin, do you think the actual percentage of people that said week 3 or sooner is over or under JL's guess of 14%?
I've got to take myself out of this one, at least my personal feelings. I'm going to go, geez. I just don't know how it could be that high as 14%. I really want to say under, but I'm going to go over.
Kevin not following his heart. Kevin, that strategy's worked for you so far.
I really want to do this other way.
I had him in the first half.
Honestly, with the way my fantasy week went, week 1, maybe I should start using that as my decision-making process. I really want to start this guy, but I'm going to plug in the other guy. We're going to throw him in there instead. We had some guesses in the chat. Rushman with 14%, Carlos with 10%, Fantasy Dog going 22, Albert with 9, Mr. Scampers with 8, and Tim with 7. And we're talking about shade. Tim coming in here unprompted, throwing shade at Trey Lance, as I would bench him before he was drafted. Out on Trey Lance is Tim Wright. Scott with 13%, Dame with 6, and then come here now, giving us a range. Says 4 to 6.
4 to 6.
4 to 6. Fantasy Dog with 22%, and Joey with 16% in this one.
Nice one, Joe.
Nice one. Good guess right here. JL, we had you at 14%. Kevin took the over. The actual percentage of people that chose week 3 or sooner in this poll was 17%.
Wow.
JL, you were within 5 percentage points, which is going to add 5 points to your score, giving you the lead. But Kevin, you're going to have 2 points to your score for getting that one right. Your strategy worked again.
How is this working?
Math is hard.
Math is hard. Fade yourself.
Well, you've got the lead after that one. But before we move on, are you expecting better games from Trey Lance than this Monsoon Bowl in Chicago? Or are you on the side A overreact section of this?
I am not on the overreact side of this. It's going to be fine for Trey Lance. They're going to give him more opportunities. I don't think they'll bench him before week 3. That would be alarming. If whatever they're seeing over the course of 2 or 3 games, one of those games being in just downpour, that they feel strongly enough to bench him, then something serious would be going on that we are not currently aware of. That's my opinion on it.
They should have been up by 17 points in that first half. Not by they were dominating that game overall, just not on the scoreboard. They just weren't scoring points. So hopefully they can resolve that. Kevin, are you nervous about Trey Lance?
Not at all. And that has nothing to do with the fact that I live in Fargo, North Dakota. And if I do say anything badly about Trey Lance, I will be removed forcibly from my home and stoned in the streets. So just having to say that Trey Lance will be fine. I am fine. Wink, wink.
Wink, wink.
He's a hero there in Fargo, North Dakota. Fantasy Dog in here saying you guys are crazy good. This really tells you about trade scenarios.
Yeah.
You guys are killing it today with these guesses. Points on all of them, all around so far. And I saw a question from
mostly
Carlos. You got points, Dale. You got points. You got 1 point and then 5 points.
At first I was like, yeah, I am doing good. Then I was like, wait a minute. No, I'm not.
Within 15, within 3, you're killing it by some definitions of
shout out Rushman. Rushman and I, 3 percentage points away. Let's go.
There we go. Carlos had a question for us. Said, should I have faith in Brady rest of season? Upcoming, he's got Saints, Packers, Chiefs, and Falcons. Kevin, you got faith in Brady? Toting him out there as your fantasy starter?
Of course they do. As long as they're throwing the ball over the field. If, they won't have Godwin, but I mean, they've still got Julio, Gage, and Mike Evans. They've still got a good running game. As long as Tom Brady's on the field, I have no questions about him.
Yeah, I'm with you. Tom Brady's Tom Brady. You start him until he retires. Anytime he's on that field, you plug him in your lineup. JL, anything to add? Maybe any negatives or concerns for Tom Brady?
No, I think he's going to try and play lights out the season. I think in his mind, this is probably his final season. That's the vibe I'm getting, and that he's gonna try and ball out. So no, I'm no concerns at all for Tom Brady.
Yeah, I'm with you guys. We're going to move on to our next poll. JL, that one was to you, correct? Gave you the lead 6-5, which means this one goes to Kevin. Kevin, are you ready for poll number 2?
I am ready.
Here we go. If you were Jerry Jones, what would you do with Dak Hurt? Side A, trade for Jimmy G. Side B, ride with Cooper Rush. Or side C, sign a veteran QB. What percentage of people said you would trade for Jimmy G? Put yourself in Jerry Jones' shoes. Try to be the man that is Jerry Jones.
I'd rather not, but I guess I will have to for this exercise.
Put your feet in those loafers.
Oh my Lord. I can't do the Arkansas accent. Britt could. If Britt were here, she'd be able to. But she is not, so I'm gonna have to.
Britt, do an accent in the chat.
Do an accent in the chat. Asterisk accent. Jeez. I feel like if they're all right, trade for Jimmy G. It's tough. These are tough. Well, ride with Cooper Rush is, that's a non-starter. Sign the veteran quarterback. Trade for Jimmy G. At least in this poll, I'm going to go with 57%.
57% from Kevin on this one. JL, now you're Jerry Jones. It's your turn. Do you think the actual percentage of people that chose side A is over or under Kevin's guess of 57%?
57. I'm going to take the under. I want to believe that Twitter is not going to be they're not going to be their Twitter selves in this poll and just go straight on the trade for Jimmy G side of this.
JL taking the under on that one. We had a lot of guesses in the chat as well. First Rushman, we forgot option D on this poll. Drink another bourbon mix. Where's that option? Yeah,
that's
I'm sure
true.
Jerry Jones is having
100%.
Come here now with the 16% guess. Sebro with 20.
Ooh,
Carlos going with 17. Joey with 24. Mr. Scampers with 59. Albert with 11. Rushman with 45. Dame with 22. Fantasy Dog with 64%. Truly Epic coming in with 38%. So we had guesses a little all over the place in this one, ranging from like 11% all the way up to 64%. I think people's opinions are split here. The actual percentage of people that chose trade for Jimmy G in this poll was 59%. Wow. Mr. Scampers nailed it exactly. And Kevin, you were only 2 percentage points away on that one. JL, you seem shocked by that.
People are dumb. They're so dumb.
I feel like this is like almost like NFL week 1 fan fiction. Jimmy G to the Cowboys. Like, I am not buying it even for 1 second that the 49ers are going to send a highly skilled backup quarterback to the Cowboys for a 3rd round pick. I just
the Tumblr blogs are just twittering away.
Twittering away.
I don't get it. Kevin, do you think there's any real chance that Jimmy G ends up on the Cowboys?
Probably not. I feel like if it was going to happen, it would already happen because Jerry Jones has a itchy trigger finger. But I mean, other than that, like who else is really out there that could even be worth a damn? And there's a report that even that timetable could be shortened to about 4 to 6 weeks. So, I mean, they kind of have to saddle their bags with Cooper Rush right now and make do. But yeah, Jimmy G, I feel like it's wishful thinking.
Yeah, I think it's wishful thinking. It's just, I feel like his name, every time there's a QB needy team, it's immediately, oh, they're going to trade for Jimmy G. Oh, they're going to trade for Jimmy G. Surely they'll trade for Jimmy G.
I feel like
a backup quarterback is valuable.
49ers, like personnel putting these rumors out there. Oh, the Cowboys are interested in the 49ers quarterback, Jimmy G. And it's like, nobody's saying that. It's just you guys trying to make it sound more appealing. Get out of
fiction. That's all it is.
Jimmy G.
Jimmy G. Oh.
Fantasy Dog in here. Nice job. Said 5 points for me. They were very close on that one as well. Now. Mr. Scampers just edged you out. The dog versus the cat. The cat won this round right there. JL, Kevin retook the lead from you after that poll, putting him at 10. You are at 6 points, but we still have some more game left to play here. 3 more polls, 1 more for each of you to answer yourself in the final round. Before we get into this next round of polls, though, there is another rule that we are introducing. So in this round, there are now 2 more answer choices you can give besides over and under. You can also guess way over or way under. If you think your opponent's guess is 15 percentage points or more away, you can take the way over or way under. If you're correct, if it is in fact 15 or more, you're going to get 4 points instead of 2. But it's a double or nothing mechanic. So if they're 14 over and you took the way over, you're going to get 0 points for that one. So feel free to use it, but you're going to have to believe your opponent made a terrible guess in order to throw that one out there. Before we jump into that poll, I saw some questions in here. Speaking of Dak, Ryan wanted to know, who am I picking up to replace Dak Prescott? Are there any quarterbacks that are screaming pick me up on the waiver wire for you guys?
I don't hate Matt Ryan. That would probably be like the one guy that I would. I mean, he's got a pretty good schedule coming up. I mean, Kansas City, Tennessee, they'll probably be in those games and he'll have to pass. So Matt Ryan's probably out there, fully Flacco? In on him. Yep. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I go Flacco.
You wouldn't go Flacco just for a couple weeks?
I mean, it hurts me. I mean, even what about Tannehill? I'd be fine with Tannehill.
If Tannehill's out there, absolutely. Yeah, I think he should be picked up.
I'm going Carson Wentz as my probably preferred ad here. I liked what I saw in that wide receiver core is incredible. He doesn't have a crazy tough matchup going against Detroit. It was a better defense, I think, than some people expected this weekend, but I like Carson Wentz and I like the receiving options he has there. He looked all right in this Washington offense.
Any of you interested in picking up Cooper Rush?
No, not in a 1 quarterback league. Maybe
not
in a 2 quarterback league.
In this economy.
Are you kidding me? We got guys like Carson Wentz and Matt Ryan sitting on the waiver wire. We're not even talking about Cooper Rush yet. We're gonna need a couple more injuries. We're gonna have to get to like the Mike White portion of the season or the Trevor Siemian portion of the season.
Tyrod Taylor's.
Exactly. Hey, we don't need to lump Tyrod Taylor in with Cooper Rush and Mike White. That's just disrespectful to Tyrod Taylor.
You watch your mouth.
You watch it, Kevin. Truly Epic wants to know AJ Dillon or Jerry Jeudy for flex full PPR this week. Jerry Jeudy is going up against the Houston Texans, I believe, and AJ Dillon. I think the Packers are playing the Bears, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep,
but Sunday I will confirm that. Yep, they're playing the Bears on Sunday night. So would you guys go AJ Dillon at the Bears or Jerry Jeudy at the Texans?
Ooh. I think I'd go Dillon. Normally I would side to the wide receiver, but I think that this will be like the get right game for the Packers. So I think, they're not playing on a murky quagmire of a field, at least this time. So I like Dillon to be able to salt this game away a little bit. And, he's shown some receiving chops, certainly. So I think Dillon will have a pretty, I think he'll have close to a top 12 league running back, honestly.
There we
go. I love how you use the words murky quagmire to describe that field, because I would never in 1,000 years ever.
Who else but Quagmire?
That was the very first thing I was going to comment on as well, JL. I was gonna say murky quagmire is an elite phrase. If you've never said that before and you just pieced those words together on the spot, I'm so jealous of your just like working vocabulary.
It might have been the first time I've ever heard those 2 words put together.
I think so. It might be the first time I've ever heard someone say quagmire, not talking about Family Guy. I don't know that I've heard that word outside of a Family Guy reference. JL, which of these 2 players are you putting in your flex?
I'm going to go Jerry Jeudy. It's very close. It's very close to me. Jerry Jeudy looked fantastic with the ball in his hands yesterday. It's an easy matchup against Houston. And really the matchup is the thing that is a tiebreaker for me.
This one's close. This one's so close. I'm going to go Jerry Jeudy as well. And Kevin, it's what you said. It's so close. And whenever it's close in my mind, I prefer to shove the wide receiver into that flex spot whenever possible, especially in full PPR. I expect Jeudy to see more targets this week than he did last week, or be a little bit more involved. Maybe not need that long touchdown to save his fantasy week, but God, did that long touchdown look good. Like maybe this is my Jerry Jeudy bias, but I just want him in all my lineups if he can do that.
Yeah, that's the one thing. He just looks so fast. Like that's the one thing nobody ever talks about with him. It's always the route running, but not just his speed.
You could just tell he turned on the Jets and he was about to just outrun that DB. Yeah, he was gone.
Truly Epic in here saying the Cowboys should add Tim Tebow for QB. Do you think Tim Tebow's an upgrade over Cooper Rush?
elite quarterback Tim Tebow.
I think I'm an upgrade over Tim Tebow.
And I'm available.
I mean, I can sling it.
There you go.
Like 10 yards.
We got Yahey in here wanting to know. Hey, Yahey wants to know, would you trade Waddle and Miles Sanders for Javonte Williams? Already have Gabriel Davis and Judy as a possible wide receiver too. This is an interesting trade, Yahey. Sometimes we get ones in here that it's like slam dunk one side. This one's interesting to think about right now. JL, you made a face like, I'm not sure what to do on this one, so I'm going to ask you first. Would you take the Waddle side or the Miles Sanders and Waddle and Miles Sanders or the Javonte Williams side here?
I think I'm on the Javonte. I think I would be okay making this trade. I think I'm on the Javonte Williams side. I'm okay with either side. I don't want to make this seem like there's one side better than the other. I think this is a very fair trade. I think this is a good upgrade for Javonte Williams. And Waddle, as great as he is as a wide receiver, his position is a little less scarce.
Kevin, are you agreeing with JL on this one, or are you going the other side of this trade?
I'm fully on board with getting Javonte. I mean, Javonte looked like the best player on the field.
For fantastic.
He did. And then they brought in just the sad baritone of Melvin Gordon, and it was just so bad. I mean, Melvin Gordon didn't look too bad either, but compared to Javonte was like a nice ray of sunshine. Like, you want to see it all the time.
Yeah, so. Just to break down his stats here, in yesterday's game, 7 rushing attempts, 43 yards. He also had 11 receptions on 12 targets for 65 yards. That there, that is why I'm okay making this trade.
Yep. Yeah, I don't expect him to keep up a 12 target a game pace. That would be absolutely insane, but it's in his range of outcomes. If he can get 12 targets in one game, he can likely average 6 on the season, right? Which would be great for a running back if he can get that high. I see the rest of the comments here in the chat. We got a bunch of questions. We're going to do another round of our game. We will answer as many of these as we can. And a reminder, if you've got more questions on Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern time, we will be live for Fantasy Football Office Hours, doing nothing but answering your questions for an hour. So come hang out with us then if we don't get to your question today.
Or join the Discord.
Or join the Discord. Yeah, join our Discord. It's in the YouTube link down there, and we'll answer your fantasy football questions over there. And maybe any animal questions or history questions you have as well, but not all
specifically animal or history, but nothing else.
Nothing else. Do not ask us about geography. We will refuse to answer.
Or geology.
Or any of the other Agies. We're not going to answer anything about any Agies in that chat. Kevin, you are winning this game 10-6. JL, I believe it is your turn. Or am I mistaken on that one? No, we've got 2 more polls left before our final one. Here's your next poll. Higher fear factor? Side A, Trey Lance. Side B, Matthew Stafford. What percentage of people chose Trey Lance, saying they were more scared for him for the rest of the season?
I'm going to be honest. As soon as you said fear factor, I could only think about the show. Higher fear factor. So is this like who's concerned? Who am I more concerned about?
Yeah. I mean, this was all the information given in the poll, but I would assume that's what this means.
Okay. Trey Lance or Matthew Stafford. I have to believe it's Matthew Stafford. I'm going to go with 46% on the
46% on the Trey Lance side. Kevin, do you think the actual answer is over or under JL's guess of 46%?
Oh, boy. I think it's lower on Trey Lance. So
could go way lower.
Not way lower, just regular American style.
All right, he's going to take way under, Simon.
So you think fewer than 46% of people chose the Trey Lance side of this poll, Kevin?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we've got JL locked in at 46%. Kevin with the under here. We got some guesses in the chat. And Justin saying, what's up, guys? Welcome in, Justin. Glad to have you here.
What up, Justin?
And Nick's is saying, where's the Discord link? I believe it's in the description for the YouTube video. We can throw it in the chat as well for you. Dustin guessing 48%. Tim with 86%. Come here now with 77%. Ryan going 60%. Rushman going with 64%. Carlos with 89%. Albert with 41%, Scott with 56%.
All over the place.
Truly epic going 40%. Also, shout out Justin making the comeback even with the A-Rob goose egg. Feels good, man. Congrats on your week 1.
Let's go.
Good stuff.
Rough start with A-Rob in their lineup, but it's okay. It's a long week of football. You had all of Sunday and Monday to get back. The actual percentage of people that chose Trey Lance in this poll was 57%.
Wow.
57% think Trey Lance is the more concerning player. They got the higher fear factor for him. So, JL, you're within 15. You're going to add an additional 1 point to your score, closing the gap with Kevin a little bit. Kevin, you incorrectly picked the under, so no points for you on that one. We had some close answers in the chat, though, as well. We had 64% from Rushman. That was pretty close. Ryan was 60% on that one. Right there. And Scott, what did Scott say?
56%.
Oh, Scott, you were so close. You don't even know how close you were because it was actually 56.8. It wasn't even 57 fully, but we round up here or round down, depending on where that number lies. Kevin, are you ready for your next poll? This is the last one before the final poll.
I'm ready.
It's another Dynasty question. Which running back do you prefer in Dynasty? Side A, Cam Akers. Side B, J.K. Dobbins. What percentage of people chose the Cam Akers side of this poll?
Oh, my Atlanta. Talk about damaged goods. I mean, kind of on both ends. Which side chose Cam Akers? I would probably have to go 26%.
26% on the Cam Akers side of this one. JL, do you think the actual answer is over or under Kevin's guess of 26%?
26%. Oh, that is a good line. That is a very good line. I don't know whether I should take the over or under. What do you think, Kevin? Nothing. He's got nothing for me. He's just muted. All right. What was his number?
46. No, it wasn't. That was the
26.
wrong poll. 26%. I looked in the wrong column.
26. I'll take the over.
JL taking the over on 26%.
I don't have the cojones to go way over.
No cojones to go way over. We had guesses in the chat. Justin with 34%, Carlos going with 72, Rushman with 40, Ryan with 30%, Mr. Scampers with 33, Albert with 32, Truly Epic going with 44. Wants to know, was this poll before week one? No, all these polls are since week one. And Tim said, oof, probably low, like 35%. Fantasy Dog in here with 7% and come here now with 98%.
Nice.
We've got answers ranging from the single digits all the way up to 98% for this one. Seems like people can't make up their mind. The actual percentage of people that chose Cam Akers in this poll was 10%. It was 10%, which means JL, you're exactly, or Kevin, you're exactly 16 percentage points away, which is one away from scoring any points on this one. JL, the opportunity to weigh under this one is there, but you took the wrong side.
I know. Bonk.
You know. You guys surprised by this, or do you think 10% on the Cam Akers side is about right?
I mean,
that seems wild to me, honestly. That low. Like, I thought what I said was low, 26%.
I'm taking Dobbins over Cam Akers. I've been taking Dobbins over Cam Akers.
Yeah,
so I'm just surprised that the public shifted so quickly.
And
maybe
so, yeah. And so much.
And so much, yeah.
They can be people's back-to-back running backs now that they are, as long as everyone consistently has Dobbins a little bit higher. Know what I mean? Like, maybe these guys are closer than the 90-10 split would make you think here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Point. It's not like J.K. Dobbins and Tevin Coleman.
No, maybe a similar
result, shout out to JB there. Sorry with the Tevin Coleman slander.
Jail was a Tevin Coleman truther for a little bit there as well. Did not work out.
It's true.
But you know, you're all in on Saquon Barkley, and it worked out so far this year. Before we get into our final poll, we're gonna hit some more of these questions in here. I saw Alex McBuckets in here with a question. Wanted to know. McBuckets, should I trade DJ Chark and Devontae Parker for Breece Hall, full PPR, 12-man?
Oh, yeah.
Do it right now. Slam dunk.
Now. Let's go.
Kevin, are you in on that? You agree with us?
Oh, God, yeah.
Oh, if you can get Breece Hall for those two wide receivers, you are golden, Alex McBuckets.
Don't think it'll get the job done, but shoot your shot.
It's worth a shot.
Think so either. I do not think so either. Come here now, says JL. I really like the lights back there.
Thanks.
Nice lights.
Thanks.
Did you make them yourself?
Yeah, I did.
Breathing
did you
fantasy
invent electricity too?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
Breathing Fantasy Football literally wants to know if Josh Johnson would be a good replacement for Dak there in Dallas. Could you guys see them signing Josh Johnson? Is he an upgrade over Cooper Rush?
Did he get cut from the Broncos? I'm guessing so. I don't know. I'm not fully. Oh, I guess he did.
I think Cooper Rush, knowing the playbook, knowing that organization is probably going to be the best choice.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You're kind of stuck with him, at least for the interim. So, I mean, I don't know what Josh Johnson is going to be an upgrade for Cooper Rush, especially, because you have to learn the playbook and terminology and all that. So, yeah, you're probably just staying the course.
Joe in here has a question, says, need 2 flex plays, assuming Lazard is out. Julio Jones, Melvin Gordon, Mecole Hardman, Jahan Dotson, or someone off waivers. Kevin, you got to start 2 of these guys. Are there any names that jump out at you as must be in your lineup?
I Dotson, just based off his week 1 with 2 touchdowns. I think he's got to be at least in flex consideration now in your lineup. So I would start with him. Probably go with Julio for the second one.
I think Julio's the guy I'm starting, especially with Chris Godwin now. Like, he's the one that jumps out at me. And that Tom Brady Julio connection was fun to watch in that game. He was targeting Julio, and Julio was making classic Julio plays. And when they had him running the end arounds, like, I was just like, this isn't real. This is not real life, watching Tom Brady and Julio Jones on the same field. The other one's a little bit iffier for me. I might be going Melvin Gordon, but I like the upside Jahan Dotson presents. So I think I agree with you, Kevin. That's where I would go. JL, are you starting those 2 wide receivers, or is there a different guy in here that you're throwing in?
I would go Melvin Gordon, and I'd go Julio Jones. Melvin Gordon's playing Houston. It is a very nice matchup for him. I'll take that running back wide receiver combo.
I can envision that Detroit-Washington game being like almost exactly like that Philadelphia-Detroit game, where it could be like 38-35 last minute cardiac. So that's why
if there are 2 teams for it to just be zany like that, 100% those 2 are it.
Yeah.
I haven't heard zany used in conversation since I think I was like 6 years old.
1996.
Let's bring it back. Let's bring zany back. It's so zany.
Zany.
Unit in here had a question for, said Mooney or AJ Dillon at flex. So we had an AJ Dillon question earlier.
That one. What you doing, Moon Boy?
No, you're a Moon Boy. I'm not a Moon Boy. Just kidding.
The quad father.
Darnell Mooney's going to be fine. Darnell Mooney is going to be fine going forward. This was a bizarre game. And the receiving options that Justin Fields was throwing to, it wasn't great for him. I have to expect Darnell Mooney's going to be more involved as a wide receiver in this offense. He's the best receiver they have. That being said, give me AJ Dillon. Give me AJ Dillon this week over Darnell Mooney in my flex. Kevin, you're nodding. Do you agree?
Quad father all day. Jair Alexander and Darnell Mooney.
No, thank you.
Let Justin Fields pick his poison with whatever retread wide receiver he wants to throw to.
Now, I wouldn't just count Darnell Mooney out in this one. He is playing Green Bay, which, if you recall, is that team that Justin Jefferson just dismantled. So that secondary that Justin Jefferson was just running all over. I wouldn't mind playing Mooney in this matchup if I could, but I would also go Dillon.
If they put Preston Smith on Darnell Mooney, then I agree. Darnell Mooney will be lighting him up and twice on Sunday, which it happens to. They are playing on a Sunday, so there you go.
There works.
Yeah. We are going to get into our final poll here. This is to determine the winner. It's close. Whoever gets this one right is going to be our champion today. So whoever's closer, you have pen and paper handy, or a cell phone that you could write your answer on. Oh, even better. Kevin's got the full whiteboard right there. Your final poll is, which broadcast are you going to watch? Side A, traditional. Side B, Manning cast. What percentage of people said they were going to watch the traditional broadcast? Give you guys about 20 seconds to get your answers in for this one. Maybe we feed some ducks while you're doing that.
Feed the ducks. I got my answer.
JL's got his answer in. We're just waiting on Kevin.
My answers.
Kevin taking it nice and slow.
Just like you like.
We had some guesses in the chat for this one. Ryan with 100%. Rushman going with 78. Mr. Scambers with 22. Justin with 83. Come here now with 40%. I want to see what you guys had to say, though. Let's see those answers.
Wow.
JL with 64%, 38% from Kevin on this one. We had a couple more answers come in the chat. Tim with 86, Albert with 54, and Fantasy Dog said, you can't guess until they give the question. You can. You're just going to be at a disadvantage. You're going to be at a severe disadvantage if you don't know the question before you're guessing over here. Well, guys, the percentage of people that chose, I'm doing a little bit of math in my head real quick, trying to figure out who the winner is on this one. The percentage of people that chose the traditional broadcast over the Manning cast here was 50%. Kevin, you were 2 percentage points closer than JL, meaning you are going to be the winner today. Nice job, my man. How's that poll perception redemption feel?
Wait, how is that true?
It feels great.
50 is 12. 50 to 64 is 14. So unfortunately, you lost, JL. Kevin, anyone you want to thank? Any speech you want to give here?
I didn't have anything prepared, but no. I want to thank my impeccable knowledge of numbers, which is not very good because I'm a product of the New York State public education system. So other than that, I just want to thank Jesus.
Jesus.
Quite the ride you took us on.
Shout out Jesus in the New York City.
I had you guys in the first half
for that one. Everyone, if you're watching this and you have not followed our friend Kevin, go and fix that right now. Poll perception champion, writer for Matthew Berry's Fantasy Life and Fantasy Alarm, and host over at Lightning Round Fantasy and Fantasy Football Besties. Go follow him right now on Twitter at KTompkinsII right this instance. Everybody watching who played along with us, thank you so much for joining us today and playing along in the chat. Shout out Fantasy Dog, pretty good for your first time in here playing along. Couple rough pulls at the beginning, but pulled it together. Scored a lot of points by the end of this game. We will be live playing some more games on Thursday at a new time from 5 to 6 p.m. Eastern time on the FanDuel YouTube and Twitch channels. So make sure to come hang out with us this Thursday evening, and then we're rolling straight into office hours to answer all of your questions. Until then, though, we are out of here, everyone. And the morning show. I wake up at 5 a.m. every morning just to be on the radio over there. So make sure you guys come hang out with us on Better Sports Network.
Hit that fun button
on our YouTube channel and hang out with us from 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern time every single weekday. And Kevin's right. Smash that fun button whenever you get in there. We got to break it again. Until tomorrow morning, though, we're out of here. Adios, everybody. Where's the outro video?